Welcome everyone to the 8th plot. We're back to do another what if video. I've got Ben and Scott with me here today, and I think we'll just get started. I'm sure you know the rules, they know the rules by now, and I don't think we have
Mark,
to go...
it has come to my attention that I do not like how you're running the 8th plot, and
What?
I am creating a revolution.
Oh, you're doing this again? You're taking over, are you? So really, you think you can take this off me?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, let's see how this goes.
Oh, my spleen!
Okay, go on. Where is your spleen?
Ow!
No, go. Oh, my right ear.
Ow!
Say that.
My right earlobe.
Ow, my lower intestine.
Oh, my large intestine. My kidneys.
Okay, guys. I think I've quelled this rebellion that you tried once again. Are you going to do this ever again?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes.
You are? Oh, I feel then I have no choice but to make sure you never do this again by proving to you how powerful I am as the owner of the 8th plot.
The what?
I am putting you into the hungry pastime, and now and every year you will fight to the death, almost, until, and then hopefully this will never lead to another rebellion, because why would it? I think you can guess from our little introduction what film series.
That was an appalling introduction.
It was the best we could come up with 5 minutes before we decided
I'll just like to state, in any of these situations, Ben always wins.
What do you mean?
Because I will get tired very quickly and just die.
Oh, so you don't... In case you haven't noticed, we are doing the Hunger Games. Funny enough, it says on Wikipedia it's a trilogy, but if it's got 4 films, doesn't that make it a quadrilogy?
I think it's because it's split into 2 parts, and it's technically still under one name.
Oh, okay. So same film.
I'm pretty sure they were filmed consecutively.
Okay,
like
so
Lord of the Rings.
They just wanted more money. I didn't say that. Everyone else did.
God, now we've got a lawsuit.
And I'm just parroting that particular phrase.
Where's our lawyers?
So the Hunger Games today, gentlemen. Do you like? I think we should always start with our little review of the Hunger Games. What do you think of this trilogy of films?
Would you like to start, Scott?
No, please, Ben. I insist you start.
Alright. Yeah, I really like the idea. I really liked the books, and I kind of liked how they were adapted.
Did you now?
Are you questioning?
Well, I have a different opinion, but with this, you spoke first.
Different opinions means death.
I just realised, are we gonna? Okay, so
I'll
for the rest
put
of
you in the hungry pastime.
The hungry pastime. So for the rest of this, we're basically within the confines of the Hunger Games situation. Yep. So I'm not President Snow in this. Actually, no, I am. Which one of you is most like Katniss?
Ben.
I think you're most. Actually, both of you are kind of like the people.
You're like Peter in the 3rd film.
It's like
just really skinny.
Guys, you're both.
Somehow that is very
You're both
accurate.
the ones who go down instantly when the Hunger Games start. That's what both of you.
How dare
Not
you?
if me and Ben form an alliance.
You'd still go down pretty quickly.
I would back myself to kill most people in the first Hunger
So you
Games.
think you would survive a Hunger Games situation very well?
Well, I think we should put on hold the conversation we were just having to discuss this for a little bit. What we would do in the Hunger Games.
Well, that's what we're going to do anyway in
When?
a few minutes. Well, I'm going to send you into the Hunger Games.
Well, let's switch the schedule around a bit.
No, we're going to do the review. We're doing the review. We'll go back.
Fine.
Tangent control. We're back on the
Can't
review.
steal
That's
his
my
stuff.
line.
It's not his. He can't have all the lines.
Yeah.
Tangent
Yes, I
control
can.
is one we all share.
I'm the most funny person here.
Other funny people are available. Don't forget that, Scott. I can replace you. I put you in a Hungry Games. You're done. Hungry Pastime. Sorry. The Hungry Pastime does sound like a parody version of
Tangent
Hunger
control.
Games. Thank you. Oh, well, you claimed it though.
See.
So you like it though, Ben? You like the
I'm. It's not one that I'd go back and rewatch a lot, but it's one that I would, if it was on, I'd probably enjoy the sections that I watch.
Okay.
But I must say I hate the shaky camera and the handheld camera movements.
There is a lot of that, isn't there, in that film?
Yeah, it's just like
Way too much. But only in the Hunger Games itself. Outside of everything's steady.
No, like at the start of the first film in District 12, it was really shaky.
See, the thing is, I haven't actually watched number 1 for years.
I didn't pick up on that when I was watching it.
I've only really rewatched Catching Fire. That's the only one I think is actually
Which one's that?
The second one. That's the only one worthy of... The reason why it's actually my favourite to rewatch if I ever do is because it's the most... the less vicious and the less bloody and the less like sad and depressing, because I know... Spoiler alert, that lots of people don't die. I know that some people will survive, and that's actually nice and relaxing. It's very hard watching the first one knowing you're dead, I know you're going to die. It's just you two, isn't it? These guys. Why am I watching this? Why am I putting myself through Rue's death again? Why?
Well, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Oh,
Yes.
not this again.
No, we're going to stop that. Yes, any spoilers and you go back into the hungry...
If you see the title, just don't watch it. You know there's spoilers coming.
Yeah.
Idiots.
You call... Scott, at this point we only have 20 subscribers. Please don't call the viewers idiots.
Apologies.
You are amazing people. Thank you so much for watching.
They
this.
can't see you shaking your head.
That's the point.
Yeah, you gave the game away there then.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise that.
But yeah, I like the films.
You binge watched them very recently in preparation.
Yes. Only because I can't remember what happens in any of them.
Do you remember what happened? You do remember now, though?
Very vaguely.
Very vaguely.
Got a rough idea of what happens. Yeah. Yeah, like Ben said, I wouldn't particularly go back and watch them again if there's something else on, but if it's on, I'll watch it. It's not my favourite. I've not read the books because I don't read. But I didn't read the books, so I think that was just... I don't know what that provides. I don't know what happens in the books anyway, so... As
a avid reader and writer, I quite enjoy the books. I do think the third one, though, is the weakest. I think I was telling you guys this before we started, that...
we have conversations before we start?
The first two Hunger Games in 1 and 2 are quite good. And the second Hunger Game, the actual game itself, is very different from the first one because of the way it ends. The first one is obviously the most brutal and shows the games for what it truly is. The second one is using the games to make a political point, but also there's all this shenanigans going on from the outside to try and disrupt it. The third one lets down the whole Hunger Games concept by kind of... I think Katniss in the book and in the film... I don't know who says it in the film, actually. Says, let the 76th, 5th, I can't remember, Hunger Games begin, when they enter the capital and they're in a place with all these traps and everything. So it's kind of like a Hunger Games, but it's not. But the one line is just said, but then nothing Hunger Games-ish comes out of it. And I wish that, in a sense, what had happened is President Snow, who's the bad guy, in case you didn't know, made part of the capital an actual Hunger Games situation, like a dome over it somehow, maybe with a shield, and he actually forces a bunch of other rebels into the dome, and then all these rebels who have just been fighting the capital now have to fight to the death to get out, and in a sense reap the rewards of the rebellion winning. So
I don't understand how that works, because surely all the rebellions would be fighting for a similar cause.
But if you were to shove, so Katniss's group enters the sort of sectioned off area of the capital that Snow has rigged to be a Hunger Games dome, then he's already kidnapped a bunch of other rebels, shoves them in, and then says, the rebels will not come and rescue you in time. Maybe he puts a time limit, which makes it very different to other Hunger Games. 1 hour. If one person lives, you will be free. And you know that from other previous Hunger Games, we do give you that freedom. And so maybe the rebels would, because the rebels were part of an army that was winning. But now you're in a time situation where you have to kill someone to survive. Why wouldn't the rebels suddenly turn on each other, and then you've got a very different Hunger Games situation?
I'm still not
That's
sure.
what. That's
I'm still not sure.
I think that would be quite a good, cool concept.
That would have made the third book and film more Hunger Games-ish, as opposed to like a normal. It's a typical rebellion kind of situation.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot really happens in the third film anyway. Sort of, oh, look, here's District 13 and here's me introducing it. But you don't really... I was disappointed in all the action we didn't get to see.
Yes. But that's because it's always seen through the eyes of Katniss.
Yeah, but I would have liked to see in the fourth one, like, people taking the rebellion. I think in the third film, I think there was a brief amount of action of how people go around blowing stuff up in different districts and stuff.
It's one of the things that's really sort of it's disjointed about the films is that there appears to be this incredible level of technology, but you never really see it. Like the hovercraft things are quite like they can even turn invisible, and they're quite sleek and slick, and that suggests there's a level of technology in the capital that far exceeds whatever we've got now.
I mean,
You don't really see it.
Yeah, they can effectively
laser
control
guns?
the entire Hunger Games from a computer screen. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, give me a tree. Oh, here's a tree. Give me a bear. Here's a bear.
Yeah, it's like he's a bear.
Give me fear. Fear.
Nicely worked. But yeah, it's like there's shields literally. Why does the character not have a massive shield grid that kept it safe?
That sort of dome sort of reminded me from the Truman Show.
Yes, it is a bit Truman Show. It's like the Truman Show, but if Truman was tortured, which I get. Well, yeah, we'll do a Truman episode one day, but
That caused
it
so many
is. It's like a
psychological
terrible
problems.
Truman Show because you're trapped inside a kill or be killed scenario.
Yeah.
I think everyone who acts in it was chosen quite well for their parts.
I saw a video of like someone analysing the Hunger Games, and them saying, "Okay, so we've got a whole bunch of malnourished children. Do you mind if we cast some really athletic and fit and well-fed actors
That's true.
in their prime?"
That was true. Like they never made Jennifer Lawrence or looking for his name right now.
Peter.
No, not well. Peter. They made Peter look like he was actually. No, Liam Hemsworth was the person I was thinking of.
Oh.
That yeah.
Is it Hemsworth?
Yeah,
Brother
it's one of the
Chris
Hemsworth brothers.
Hemsworth.
I thought he looked like a Hemsworth.
But you're right. They look like they've been eating well
Yeah.
and going to the gym quite a lot.
They did make Peter quite skinny for the third.
Yes, they did a good job there.
Yeah, but yeah.
Though his face was it's just so disproportionate to his head. It's such a big head.
Well, his head remained the same size, I think.
It did.
But the rest of his body lost so much.
Like his
weight,
jawline was
it
just
made
getting
him look-
bigger and bigger. His neck was getting smaller and smaller. I was like, what is this?
He was malnourished.
Like a
They were
massive
torturing. They
chipmunk.
were torturing him. Who's your favourite character in the Hunger Games?
Oh, good question.
It's always I am actually a Peter fan because I think Peter is the only good, other than when he gets like tortured and brainwashed, obviously. But for the most part, he's actually the only solid good guy in it. Everything he does is for either Katniss's benefit or he does actually feel concern for people around him. Maybe it's because we're not in his head; we're in Katniss's head for the most part, and we're seeing her make sort of choices for her survival. Like she didn't really love Peter, I think, by the end of the first film. That's kind of made up. And then kind of learns to love him over the second, and then does love him in the third.
Then he tries to kill her.
Like, yeah, but that's not his fault. Like, you can legitimately see it as not his fault because of the way he was like treated.
Well, one of my favourite characters is that guy in the third film. I can't remember what his name was. Not the third film. The second film. Well, he's in all of them actually.
I got away from you that anecdote.
apart from the first one, I think his name's Finnick or something.
Oh, Finnick. Yeah, he starts in the second one.
Because I was so expecting to be a jackass, but it turns out to be like a nice guy at the end of it.
Yeah, he was. He played the part of like he was acting as the jerk throughout the whole thing, and then turned out nice again.
I love how his weapon of choice is trident.
Proper Aquaman.
But
What a
he was
weirdo.
but he was carrying the old lady round for half of it. I was like, oh, that's sweet.
It was genuinely sad. It was genuinely sad that he died. Like in the books, his death is gruesome.
Does he die?
He dies.
Oh, he dies to the ghoul people.
Yeah, and I thought that was unfair. I think someone else should have taken that bullet.
Katniss.
Cagnis.
Cagnis.
Who's Cagnis?
What did I say? Katniss, sorry.
Cagnis. I don't know who Cagnis is.
So I keep calling him President Snow Jon Snow.
Yeah, Scott does think that Coriolanus, I think that's how you say it,
Yeah.
it's based on a Roman general, I think. Snow. He keeps calling him Jon Snow.
I've never seen Game of Thrones.
So why
Nor do I recommend watching it.
Why do you keep confusing the two?
I don't know, probably because I'm dyslexic.
Oh dear, I feel bad. I'm sorry.
I feel bad. Do you know how many times I get away with playing that card?
Well, you just got away with it just now.
Yeah, exactly.
I apologise. I
So
apologise to all dyslexic people.
You didn't offend them, so
How do I know? If you are offended, I apologise.
get over yourself.
Well,
I'm not offended, so you shouldn't be offended either.
that's not how this works.
It should.
That's not how offence works. I'm offended.
Why are you offended?
Never mind.
How dare you?
Goddamn.
Get over your offence.
So,
Sorry.
getting back to the film.
What
choice.
Sorry, Ben was left all on his own while we had that little argument.
Then what disease do you have?
Oh, what disease do I have?
Yeah.
I have celiac disease.
Oh, that sucks for you.
They both looked at me as if to say, "What disease do you have, Mark?" I'm an idiot. I have chronic idiocy.
That's not true. He has written many books.
We'll get to that at the end.
You're about to say 3 books.
Yeah, because present day.
It's more than that.
Because Storm of the Future was the only one I had in my mind, but I remembered.
Anyway, back to the review of the Hunger Games.
Oh, good choice.
I think in some ways there's a solid theme throughout the books that I quite enjoy.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy the whole. It's because there's 2 themes. There's one that spectacle placates the population, and then it's like the power of a dictator and a dictatorship over its citizens. And so there's sort of like there is a warning there that dictatorship must be avoided at all costs, because the thing that a dictator, and this is true of dictators throughout all history, is while there's not been a Hunger Games situation from any dictator in history, I don't think so. Maybe small piecemeal here and there, but it's the idea that our power is all consistently displayed by doing some action regularly that keeps the population down, but also keeps the population down in a way that prevents uprising. Like in some ways, I couldn't actually imagine that without District 13, any kind of rebellion would actually work in Pan Am, as it's called.
Because they've always been squashed, haven't they?
Yeah, there seems to be an adequate level of like forcing people down. It's almost impossible to get above without District 13.
What was it that happened to make them firebomb District 13? What was it?
District 12, you mean?
No, District. So why was District 13 destroyed?
So it was made to look destroyed, and that's because District 13. So every district has a core group of people who work for the capital, and they run the district. In the middle of District 13 is all the nuclear weapons. So when the first rebellion happened, or the Dark Days as the capital calls it, the rebels in District 13 managed to gain control of their nuclear weapons, aimed them at the capital, and said, "You will give us our freedom, or we will fire them."
Nope.
And the capital said, "Yep," but I think 13 and the capital came to an agreement that the 13 would be made to look like it had been firebombed, completely destroyed, and then they were just left on their own to live underground. And the capital just told all the other districts, "Yeah, we killed them all." And without District 13, which was like a center, which was kind of the center of the rebellion, I think, in the law, the rest of the rebellion just fell down.
Yeah.
And also, since they're not fighting District 13 anymore, the capital was able to quell the other districts.
I would watch that prequel.
I would not want to see it.
I wouldn't enjoy it, but I'd watch it.
It is a sad. It's a depressing series of films, just by the nature of what goes on in it. I mean, I would never It's the first one, as I said, is my least favourite, because all these characters that you kind of get to know and kind of like, die.
Everyone dies.
And even the bad children, I guess they're the bad children in representing the bad districts in the Hunger Games. You kind of think they wouldn't be here if they hadn't felt forced, or the propaganda hadn't taught them to be this way. Yeah. And it's both, and that comes up at the end where I think who is it? Is it Kato?
Because
he breaks down and sort of cries at the end. I don't think it comes across. Does it come across in the book? Maybe, but it comes across in the film, and you get the idea that he's just battling for his own survival in many ways as well. He's lost friends in the actual Hunger Games. It
would make more sense just to put criminals in there instead of these innocent people.
But the thing is, the population would love that. Yeah. I will mention this to you. There's a lot of different films that are like the Hunger Games, and one of them, was I mentioned to you, was The Running Man, where they do put criminals in against fighters to try and then the population enjoys watching that because they deserve it. And the Hunger Games wouldn't work if you just got prisoners, I think.
I prefer the Maze Runner over the Hunger Games, if I'm honest.
They're different things.
They are they? Well,
they're both based on books. And they've both got
like no other film in existence.
And they've both got teenagers fighting for survival in them, which do have a bigger cause behind them, rather than these kids have been put in a maze for no reason, and these kids have been put in the Hunger Games for no reason.
No, but they have been put in for a reason.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. They've both got bigger causes behind them, So, I think they...
But in a sense, the Hunger Games one is known to everyone, while the one in the Maze Runner isn't, though.
I still prefer the Maze Runner.
Debate
closed.
The Maze Runner and the Hunger Games are they a vein of young adult, sort of post-apocalyptic fiction? But it's like, it's children rising up against a status quo that is clearly bad. In some ways, that's like the Divergent film as well.
Is the Hunger Games the entire United States? Or was it just part of it?
I've been and read the Wikipedias for the Hunger Games.
The most honourable source.
Well, apparently, very accurate, weirdly. Shaking his head. No, it's mostly the North America, and I kind of wish, one of the things I wished about the Hunger Games would reveal what happened with the rest of the planet.
Yeah.
But in some ways, the world building in the Hunger Games isn't all that great in the books, and the films do it slightly better, because in the Hunger Games books they say like 800 people died in the firebombing of District 12, and they said that was a majority of the population. Thinking, this entire district was only something like just over 1,000 people, and it's a very low number. It's only the low thousands for District 12, and you kind of think to yourself, how big is Pan Am really? How many people are we talking about? And how is that enough to create a vast technological base for people? It didn't. In the world building is kind of weak in the books, I think, in sort of trying to explain how all this works. And one part of the United States doing all one industry doesn't work either. I don't think it was necessary for each district to represent one particular thing. That just have the different districts and work off that or something. That's a weakness as well. But well acted. I think it's dark. It's hard to watch. Did they need to make 2 films out of the last book?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Nothing happened in the third one.
They could have cut a lot and trimmed it down and got straight into it, couldn't they?
Yeah. That's one of the not problems with adapting books into films. It's
adapt my book. Sorry.
I agree.
Do it. Yeah. So is that books can take time to go on side plots and stuff like that, and whereas films, when you try to adapt a film, you do need to need to take into account stuff that is needed and stuff that isn't, and stuff that can just be straight cut.
Rather than being 2-hour films, it could have been maybe a 3-hour film or like a 2.5-hour film, and they could have squeezed everything in and got what they wanted. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that they don't need to do, and all books are the same length, so it's
all
weird.
Books are the same length.
Sorry, that was wrong. Not all books are the same length, but all the Hunger Games books are. So why they couldn't have been, 3 films that were the same length is beyond me somewhat. But there we go. So Hunger Games, we would recommend it to people though, as a series.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. On to our plans.
Yes, but before we do, I neglected to do this earlier, because I got confused when you tried to rebel, and I put you in the hungry pastime. Who's good? Yeah, who's good? Who's bad? Now Ben is good today.
No, every time
I have a 50-50 chance of getting
I
it right.
will rebel again. I have no problem doing that.
No, Scott is good, and Ben is bad today. Otherwise, I'm throwing them. Why were you? It sounds like you were applauding the fact that Ben was going to be the evil one today.
I was applauding you getting it right.
Thank you.
Sarcastically.
The second time round on the 50-50, on 2 options. So what I'm going to do is obviously throw them into the Hunger Games universe with all the knowledge they possess. Scott has to do good things, Ben has to do bad things. Or at least Ben just has to be selfish, Scott just has to be selfless. So today, Scott will be represented by, I think it's fair to say, the good guy. Good girl, I apologise, who is the hero of the Hunger Games,
all our audience,
which is Katniss Everdeen. So that's who Scott will be represented by.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, can we just point out the fact that in the movie she kills the new president while President Snow is tied to a pole.
Yes.
And then the people kill him with their bare hands.
Yes. Why are we pointing that out?
They kill him with their bare hands.
Well, they were very angry.
They were very angry. They were
They
furious.
Yes.
Is that capital worth saving?
Well, no, that wasn't the capital. That was the rebellion people who would. If you fit in some ways you could say that's not justice, even though he was about to get an arrow into the head, which in some ways is perhaps not a viable execution today. We have problems with our own methods of. Obviously, I don't think we believe in the death penalty. I definitely don't. But you know they were kind of shooting with an arrow in front of everyone. But in some ways, I felt everyone was kind of justified living under this tyrannical ruler where they had to give their children away to be killed every year. I don't feel bad.
They didn't have to. They could have easily volunteered, but nobody volunteered.
Yeah,
so.
that's one of the things, isn't it? But then again, it's only 18, up to 18.
Yeah.
So I forgive them for beating the old president to death, who was very bloodthirsty and tyrannical. But bringing us to the bloodthirsty dictator, Ben would be represented today by both presidents who are bad. At least the film and books indicate so. President Coin and Snow actually representing you today, a twofer. And for me, as the overseer of this particular, who's going to pick apart their plots and ideas, that I will be represented by, I think it's fair to say, the overseer of the Hunger Games trilogy, Caesar Flick. Is it Caesar Flickerman? Yes, I got that right.
Oh, Stanley Tucci.
Stanley Tucci's
What
character.
isn't he in?
What about Toby Jones?
He's barely in it. He was Heavensby, but he's barely in it.
But he's in it.
Yes, but barely in it.
He just
Maybe
a commentator.
Haymitch was the other person who's always in it, or Elizabeth Banks is very, very well portrayed. Fifi?
Yeah.
Is it Fifi?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I need to look that up.
I believe it is Fifi.
Effie.
Effie.
Trinket. Whatever.
I like Stanley Tucci.
Either way, I'm Stanley Tucci for the...
Okay.
As Caesar Flickerman for the
He's in everything.
He is in a lot, but he's very good.
It's like Samuel L. Jackson. He gets his nose into any franchise he can.
I wonder if I could weave him into the Stolen Futures franchise one day.
Imagine.
I don't even know who he could play.
First
Maybe he could
one.
play one. He could play one of the eight. No, he wouldn't be able to play one.
Not Samuel L. Jackson to play one.
No, I don't think Samuel Jackson could play him either. Because, never mind, we're going into tangent control. Let's go into it. I'm throwing you into the Hunger Games. Who's first, good or bad? I can't remember.
Good's always first.
No,
No,
I
I think-
have no plans. So Ben needs to go first.
Scott needs a little bit.
Exposed.
Scott needs a little bit more time to think of a plan. So over to you, Ben. You're evil and in the Hunger Games.
Okay.
What do you do with your
We have no
knowledge?
rules who goes first. Ben, you're making things up. God.
It's always good that goes first.
No, it's not. Since Owen.
Since like every episode.
Everyone go rewatch all our
Yeah,
episodes
bring
of
it
What
on.
If. Comment, like, and subscribe, and then let us know who's going first every time.
Okay.
So go ahead, Ben.
Are you mocking me?
No.
Alright,
You muck.
so
What film is that from?
We don't care. We need to do this. We're
Sorry.
running out of time.
so do I get to pick which district I go into?
Yes, I'll give you that power.
Okay. I'm gonna go into District 12.
The poorest,
Yes.
most decrepit district.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to so I'm gonna wait till the poll
The reaping.
the reaping, and I'm gonna volunteer in Peter's place.
Okay.
Oh.
So that's so you're going to volunteer as the male. Okay,
Yes.
going into it. Okay. So now, Katniss does her thing.
Yeah.
She volunteers to get to Prim,
Yeah.
but she doesn't know you.
No.
Because you just appeared in this universe.
No, but I'm like alright.
Where did that guy come
No, you're not going to.
No, so
Hello there.
Crossing franchises again.
Sorry.
go watch our Star Wars video.
Okay, watch us. Oh, yes.
And
Okay, so now I've got I think it's a week till the Hunger Games start, and I'm going
Yeah, roughly.
to fully prepare for this.
Okay.
I'm going to carbo load so that I've got enough fat to survive like a
You'll be
week.
doing push-ups on that train that they're using to get there.
No, I don't want to build muscle. I want to build fat so that I can survive for long periods of time with no food.
Okay.
And then
You'll be slower though.
no,
You'll weigh more, and you have to build up some fitness.
yeah, but I'm relatively fit already. And
Okay, so you.
that's true. He is unbelievably strong for his body build.
Okay then, so
And I'm going to train in the art of knives because knives are the most
you've only
common
got a
weapon.
week.
Yeah,
So constantly training day and night with knives.
I'm
in the
going to use
capital.
my training wisely,
Okay.
and I'm going to learn what I can eat, what's safe to touch, like those like match the things.
Yes, I remember that. In
yeah,
the
that.
first one.
And I'm going to learn do rope climbing courses and tree climbing.
Are you going to learn how to paint your face so you look like a stone?
No.
That is impressive considering he's got nothing.
It was impressive that everyone left him alone long enough to do that.
Yeah.
I imagine that someone actually came up behind him with a spear, saw him doing it, and thought, "I'm not going near that way." Though. And then Pete was like, "What? Never mind." He just kept painting himself and then lay down in the stream, wherever it was.
Yeah. So now I am fully prepared, and I leave the corner. So now it's Hunger Games time.
You're on your pedestal.
Yep.
The countdown's going down.
I run away. I don't grab a backpack because that is a death trap.
Okay, so turn around and run.
Yes.
Katniss didn't die.
Yeah, but
Did she
ran
run away with anything? She didn't get away with anything.
She got away with a backpack.
Oh, okay, so
she went for the bow, like an idiot.
Yeah.
Well, it was her weapon of choice. So you're just going to turn around and run and leave everything to happen as it happens.
Forrest, run.
So now your goal is to survive the Hunger Games.
Yes.
How are you going to do that knowing everything that happens?
Because the Hunger Games what the Hunger Games wants is a good story.
Yes.
And so I'm going to give them a good story.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm going to basically start talking to myself. Well, really, I'm talking to the cameras and stuff.
Right.
And about so you know how Peter did the press tour and confessed his love for Katniss.
Yes, and that was how he and Katniss got a lot of help, I guess.
Yeah. I'm gonna basically do that, but say in front of the cameras, saying that I was too scared to do it in front of people, and
So you're gonna lie to the crowd that you're in love with Katniss,
yes,
and make them like you,
yes.
And then do you think that would lead to the same situation when they said 2 people from 2 districts can survive?
Yes.
You think it will?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I come across somebody, I'll kill them because that's the.
I just want to point out, Ben is imagining it's like what would an evil person do if they were in all this universe?
Yes.
Ben would never hurt a fly.
I would.
Well, he would hurt a fly because we all tend to.
Yeah.
But
I would probably not do this in real life.
Probably not. That's not going to go over well. I'm going to have to cut that bit out and say he would definitely not do this in real life.
I would definitely not do this in real life.
Very convincing then.
And yes, and so I go around and I'm surviving because I don't need any food or anything.
I guess you also know what's going to happen in that Hunger Games.
And I know where the water is, so I can just go there straight away.
Stay away from the wheat field because that's where Fresh is.
Yeah.
Stay away from Katniss because that's where everyone else is.
Yeah.
Don't be near her when she released that tracker jacket.
Stay away from wasps.
Yeah.
From wasps?
Wasps.
Do you mean trackers?
Yes, those.
Do you know what you could do as well? If you've memorised it, you know how to get to that pile of rucksacks that they pile up, and then Katniss kablooies. So you know how to get to it. So you could get a load of stuff there and disappear.
Yeah,
or just go and get it while they're running away because they camp under that tree underneath Katniss.
No, but there's always some other what are they called, career districts guarding it anyway. So you're kind of scuppered there.
So Katniss goes up and finds the food pile. And Foxface does that.
Yes.
And she leaves, and I do that.
presumably, Katniss won't take the opportunity to take you out.
Like, why are there 2 people that have memorised that so well? Yeah, and then I
guess Katniss would be unaware that you have confessed some fake love to get some sort of help from the capital.
You should remove those bags of apples because that's what dooms them.
Yeah, but do you want Katniss to be able to blow up the pile of food?
Yeah. Because that's good for me. Because then because it's the less people. I need to be the last person standing.
So how do you be the last person standing while this is going on?
I leave it all to
because the crowning thing of that Hunger Games is that they release those mutts and Cato, Peter, or now you in this case, and Katniss end up on top of the cornucopia. Yeah,
but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up the cornucopia early.
So you're sitting there, hands behind your head, just relaxing, and then suddenly you hear all this screaming and mutt talk. I don't know what they do. They bark, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
And you go, oh, here we go. It's the finale.
I've got a knife now, and I just
sword maybe.
Yeah,
So as Katniss and Cato try to climb off of the cornucopia, you stab their hands.
Long live the king!
Are you
There's Sparta!
You're going to reenact that and just get rid of them, and then you're the last one left.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll cry because Katniss is dead.
But you're the one who killed.
Yeah, I'm aware, but I did it for love.
What? What doesn't make any sense?
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but the cat.
Okay, I think what I'm seeing is he's completely manipulating things just so you're the person who is the 74th winner of the Hunger Games. And you manipulated the crowd, and you manipulated everyone inside the dome. You knew what was going to happen, every plot point. So you're now the winner, okay? People outside hate you for lying to them about... and what are you going to do? And basically, District 12 are going to hate you because you killed Katniss as well. So you're in a very difficult situation.
Then you got your press towards Victor.
So now I'm hated by everyone.
Yes.
Boo!
Boo!
You suck!
Poor winner. Bad sportsmanship in the death tournament.
Can you call that? But
yeah.
Death tournament.
There's even some things they wouldn't let slip by anyway.
Yeah, and now I become like best friends with President Snow.
Why would he befriend you?
Because
what on earth does he have?
I'm an incredibly charming man.
Well, not really. Well, you in real life, yes.
Yeah,
but in this situation, you've alienated everyone outside the capital, and you've alienated everyone in your home district. So the capital hates you, and the district hates you.
Well,
I think in some ways what you should abandon is this whole idea of helping Katniss out.
Oh, yeah,
and try and get her... In fact, I think she'd probably get herself killed anyway without Peter.
Yeah.
And
she's a very naive lady.
Is she? No, she's the most switched on of all of them.
I don't know.
Right.
Don't know.
Like,
You watched
when like when she's up the tree, and the careers are sleeping, I just go up, grab the bow, and shoot the tracker jacket nest, and then she gets it all, and then it falls.
You can just kill all of them there while they're sleeping, but that's where all the career tributes are.
Yeah,
you just do that. Say, you do it. Fire District 12, I'll leave you alone, and then you run off.
Yeah.
And then, when it's you and Katniss left, you just have to say, sorry Katniss, this is the game, I want to live, I've got a family. And that's that. Mm. Rather than, my point is, don't turn the capital against you.
Yeah.
You could, by the way, you might be able to get President Snow on your side if you know some key details about without Katniss, does the revolution even happen? No. Does the second rebellion happen, Scott?
No.
You don't think so?
No, because
the Mockingjay becomes a symbol, and that only happens because she's in the first one.
But doesn't it seem like Plutarch, who's already a part of the thing, like he's in government, and so are a bunch, so's Haymitch in some sense. Mm. Is there this underpin? Is this revolution about to happen anyway, and Katniss is just forced to be the symbol?
No, because she is the spark with the berries at the end of the first one.
So so do you do that?
No.
So you don't want to spark a rebellion at all?
No.
You just want to live as a winner.
Yeah.
A winner.
Because Katniss, she showed up the capital. Was like, oh no, look, I'm in charge now. I was like, oh.
Well, no, she showed them up by winning, pretending to be the berries, which would have killed her and Peter, which would have given them no victor, and they couldn't have that, so they had to. So it's how the capital turned on them. They called their bluff, and the capital would go, oh okay, and no, and then let them live. And everyone watching that sees that as going, so she managed to manipulate them, and that made them start to think that maybe there's a way to actually get around this capital.
What is your end goal here, Ben?
Yeah, what is your end goal?
Wealth.
No, because you just get put in the fifth one, and the one next.
No, but if you think about it,
only happens because of Katniss.
Yes, the quarter quell thing of reaping from existing winners is only possible because of Katniss and Peter actually existing in the first place as winners of District 12. Yeah. Although Haymitch, I suppose, but also they did that to punish her. So if you hadn't done that, they might pick a different slip out of that quarter quell box and choose a completely different quarter quell scenario, and you might have been scot-free, get away with scot-free. So your goal is to live as the winner of a Hunger Games with all the wealth and power that has. Yeah. I think that's fair because Haymitch, he's a drunk and he's depressed with what he did, but you're the bad guy in this situation, so you don't care.
Yeah. Make friends with Haymitch and all right, mate.
Fellow drunk. Ben's not drunk.
No, I just go out, get the newspaper and all right, Haymitch.
Your only neighbour. Hang on, that's bad. Your only neighbour is Haymitch.
Yeah.
And you have to continue to interact with Effie Trinket. And you have to train...
She's relatively nice.
I suppose. And you have to train future District 12ers as well.
Yeah.
Would you train them to succeed?
Yes.
because you could, because presumably the next Hunger Games is in that clock thing in this number 2.
Yeah.
Presumably they were building that for a while, and you know how to get around it,
Yeah.
and you can train them ahead of time to know what to do.
Yeah.
That works. Good. If it would have been me, your situation, but I would have been evil, but I would have done everything that Katniss did to become the Mockingjay myself, and then I'm the symbol of the rebellion. But that also means I'm in a position to become president at the end of the rebellion, and I know what's going to happen. So I could be an excellent symbol and an excellent leader. I know, don't go there, don't go do that. The Capitol's going to do this, by the way, so let's stop them.
Oi, you can't do that. It's against the rules.
Oh, okay. It's wrong for me just to tell them, but I suppose it's not wrong.
Hey, buddy,
Yes.
the Capitol are going to do this.
But in a way, I can sort of go, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to do that, and win. There's no Peter in my way, because I don't have. In this case, there won't be. And then at the end of rebellion, I'll go, right, I'm running for president. Coin's going to be there going, I have to assassinate this guy. That's not a problem because I'll be able to see her coming. And honestly, there's a lot of people around who don't like President Coin. And I'll become ruler of Pan Am, and I'll be the greatest president ever because I know exactly what to do afterwards to make the district
create
better.
the hungry pastime.
The hungry pastime. The Hunger Games is over. The hungry pastime is happening, and it's a feast for everyone, and everyone will love me. But they'll never know that I knew exactly what was going to happen and manipulated it to become president for life. And now I'm the dictator.
That is a good plan.
Thank you.
No, don't worry. Stupid question.
Well, on to Scott.
On to Scott.
Oh, I probably
Have you
should.
thought of
Now, I will say this, Scott. This is the most difficult thing to
It
do
is.
good in this film franchise. Because it's almost, unless I start you off as the richest person in the capital has ever lived, it's very hard to manipulate events without preventing anyone else from dying, but also making things better because it's such a dark and depressing universe in some ways. What could you do then, Scott?
So I think the only way to really stop more people dying is by getting the rebellion well early on.
You think so?
Like really. So I think I would spawn in District 2.
That's still one of the career districts, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's,
So that's one of the wealthy, more populous.
I think that's the most important one for the rebellion to take. The capital.
Not District 1.
I think it's
Two,
District 2 where the nut is, which is that mountain with all the
Yes.
no army in it.
Yeah.
But like you're just in there. You don't know anyone in there. I'll give you some starting resources, I suppose. But what can you do then?
So I think there's already a vague rebellion mindset around this entire district, and in fact all the districts are like, I don't really like these guys.
Actually, I have to pull you up on that. District 2, if it's a career district, no, they're
That's
in
true.
with the capital.
That's true.
Their tributes
I think-
volunteer
That's
and
true.
train.
I think it's District 4 or 5 where it's no longer careers.
So, okay, do you want to be in a career district or a non-career district?
I don't know what works better for my plan.
District 4 is the one where I think there's large-scale rebellion consistently after the death of Rue, and then I think that's District 4 that she's from.
No, she's from District 11.
Are you sure? No. Katniss and wait. Okay, now I'm gonna have to look this up.
Like
But
Katniss and Peter are from District 12, and Rue and Fresh are from District 11.
I'll look this up now because I'm sure. Oh no, District 4 is where Aquaman is from.
Aquaman. I'm pretty sure it's 8.
Okay, so I got 8, 11, and I'm saying 4.
don't
District
tell, put it
11
in
is
the comments.
correct. Well done. So District 11 is the one to start in because that's the one which consistently rebels throughout all 3 books. Like they rebel when they have a riot when Rue dies, then they kickstart a riot during the second Hunger Games, I'm pretty sure, or before it right starts. So you're in the centre of the rebellion, the beginning of the rebellion, if you put you in District 4.
But I think what we need to do is we need to organise. So I'm going to become a leader there. We need organisation here because they're just rebelling because they can. They have no plan at all. Oh look a peacekeeper attack him. It's like, what is the point in that?
So you're going to start a resistance cell in District 11.
Yeah, but a proper organised one.
Gotcha.
But then I'm going to I don't know how I'm going to do this. You might need to help me with this.
Very well.
But create some sort of like connection with District 13 and works in cahoots.
I'm
with
going to
them.
quickly look up a map of...
That's a good idea. I've not done that before.
You should, before I throw you into this universe, you should basically go and look at the Wikipedia and it'll give you a very nice, broad sense of where everything is, and it's actually quite hard to find the map of Pan Am.
Can you not like?
Here we are. Got it.
Images?
So it seems like District 11 is roughly where Florida and
Can't see the map.
That's a very poor map of the United States.
Oh, so it's the entire United States?
Yeah, roughly. And little bits of Canada as well. But so District 11 is... The capital is in the Rockies. District 11 is down the south near the Gulf of Mexico. So you could start a rebellion there. And you are very far away from... Where is District 13? Oh, District 13 is over there. So District 13 is where, the first... what's it called?
Yeah, so ultimately they do fishing and stuff.
Like New Hampshire, stuff like that is over there.
Yeah.
So I assume they do fishing and stuff.
So you could maybe sail around and get to District 13.
Yeah. We've just got to create some sort of communication between them.
So what could you tell them without breaking our rules to sort of get to link up with them?
It's a good question.
You could predict the end of the Hunger Games, but this is what will happen.
Yeah.
Or you could be like, we're going to use the victor of this year as our... Because we're going to get in touch with the victor, whoever that is, but you already know.
Oh, so you're going to kickstart the Plutarch Heaven B plan of using... Okay, that's not bad.
And just say you need to be ready for it.
Yes, okay. So unfortunately that means you have to let the events of Book 1 play out.
I think either way you're going to have to let them play out.
Because there's no way a one man can stop the Hunger Games from happening.
Yeah.
Not unless...
Firebombs.
Well, not unless not unless you start in District 13 and you set off their nuclear weapons and just launch them at the capital and just end it there and then.
But I would have no authority there. So what are you doing? Get away from those controls.
Stop pushing those buttons.
Yes.
Can you tell me the code for these? No!
hey, buddy, what's a nuclear code here? Why would I tell you?
Exactly.
What does this big red button do? Don't touch that.
So it's unlikely that you won't be able... There's almost... I really tried thinking about this. If you were just thrown into the Hunger Games universe, it's almost impossible to stop any of the Hunger Games because it's a dictatorship and there's soldiers everywhere and you don't know anyone. And you're not superpowered.
Wait. I've had an idea.
Go ahead.
So, I, like Ben, I volunteer. I start in District 12. I volunteer in Peter's Place. I win with Katniss.
Okay.
Katniss.
Well, I don't care.
Which means you're going to have to sort of play the role of like a romance.
I don't care. But at the end, not Jon Snow.
President Snow.
President Snow awards her on a balcony. I push him off, which kickstarts a rebellion.
I feel like there would probably be force fields on the balcony to ensure.
I don't know.
Why would they?
No. The thing is, I don't think that. I think that's actually a decent way of doing it. You would die though.
It's a death worthy.
So, but the thing is, Scott, as the good guy, has actually hit him probably the only way to really make this work.
It's the only time you ever get close.
It's like, yeah, he gives you the crown, you jump at him, grab him, and jump off the balcony with him and kill him. And then that would kickstart the rebellion. Almost. Why does it?
We need a leader.
But that would kill Katniss because she'd be left on that balcony going, he had nothing to do with me. But it's more than likely that would get her killed. But by killing Snow right at the beginning in an act of martyrdom, in some sense, probably would kickstart the rebellion because Coin will probably go, like someone walking to Coin's office in District 13 going, some person just killed President Snow? Really? Now would be a good time for rebellion, methinks.
Yes.
And I don't like Coin, but I somehow feel that she would be slightly better than President Snow.
Yeah, and because none of the capital or the districts have a leader, there we go. Oh, well, it's time to rebel now, so they would all rebel at the same time. I
kind of feel that Corin, because of the way Snow left things and because of the way he was a dictator, he had nobody ready to take his place. Yeah. So there'd be a massive power vacuum. That's what dictators end up doing. They leave a massive power vacuum if they should suddenly die. It's happened all throughout history. So, Scott, it would kill you. You'd get yourself killed in this attempt.
Or am I allowed to start in the capital?
Yes, you'd be a capital citizen in this case.
Okay.
Which means you would have done massive amounts of strange surgery to yourself, I suppose. But
what I do is I find like a peacekeeper on like a patrol or whatever.
Right.
Just one. And then I jump him.
Yeah,
I steal his gun.
Classic guard situation. Yeah. You knock him out, steal his uniform.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then I steal his gun and I assassinate President Snow from like the crowd as a guard.
Yeah, that's possible, I suppose.
I don't believe that Scott would be able to jump a peacekeeper though.
It'd be like what is that I think it's Futurama or maybe it's Family Guy where they do that exact same thing. They grab two guys, put them into a close, beat them up. You hear the sounds of beating up, and then the guards just walk out going, cleaning their knuckles off, and then the other two fall out bloodied and bruised. I'm sure it sounds like Futurama.
It's Futurama because you're thinking of slight tangent, Family Guy when they come in, the stormtroopers come in, they beat them up, but they walk out in the stormtrooper uniform.
And somehow they've grown around.
But Peter's a big fat stormtrooper, and nobody seems to notice.
No one seems to notice. So yeah, I'm sure it's Futurama. Go watch Futurama. Excellent series. Maybe we should do that.
Or I train as a.
No, mind.
What?
Never mind.
You missed your opportunity to call back your catchphrase.
What was my catchphrase?
Other things are available.
But how would that work?
You
Then?
could have said other TV series are
TV
available.
series
It's not funny enough. It's got
Okay.
comedic timing.
We stole this off you last week.
And it worked.
And
Every time.
he's completely forgotten. It's ours now, Ben. It's our catchphrase.
No.
Hey buddy is mine. Hey buddy. Okay. It's
You just got to find a way of assassinating President Snow quite early on.
and that would probably kickstart a rebellion.
Or-
People would get killed, but people get killed in a rebellion anyway. So maybe it'd be better without Snow. Oh, hang on. Slight problem. Snow is somewhat of a reason why the rebellion succeeded anyway. Like in some ways, he was perhaps a bad. Like this is prevalent in history as well. That dictators tend to be bad at being leaders in war.
As shown in World War II.
Yes, as shown in World War II. So it's possible that killing Snow might put someone cleverer in charge. I doubt it somewhat because I didn't see anyone who could realistically take over.
But then you have the problem because District 13 obviously has all the weapons and they'd probably win. But then we have that coin lady, whatever it says.
But she seemed much better than Snow, and plus she's got their power by a rebellion.
She probably assassinated all these civilians.
But the thing is, if the rebellion turns out slightly differently, maybe that doesn't even happen at all.
No.
And maybe there's a way to assassinate Snow and get away with it.
Yeah, by beating up a peacekeeper guy sitting in his gun, shooting him from a distance away, and then just escaping.
And then taking off the clothes and then walking around the alleyway going, I just saw the guy you're looking for.
He ran that way, officer.
Would that work? I feel that could work.
Hide behind a newspaper.
Do they have newspapers? I didn't see anyone wearing newspapers. There must be another way if you get close to Snow and do you know there is? Of course, there is a way. You could hide in District. I put you in District 12.
Mm-hmm.
You have to let the events of the first one take its place, and then all you do is hide in one of the cupboards inside the winner's house.
Yes,
because you know that Snow's going to be there. Yeah, there's going to be some guards there, but they're not going to be expecting Scott to burst out of a cupboard and kill President Snow, and you'll have some time to get away.
Yeah.
Because Katniss just walks back into her house, and Snow's just there.
like an idiot.
He's just there, and there's no indication that anyone's around him protecting him. He kind of thinks the fact that I am this person will protect me enough.
How does
That's one other way to assassinate him.
I thought the Victor's Row is
Victor's
in the
Village.
capital.
No,
Is it
Victor's
the
Village
capital?
is in each district.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's like
Oh.
it stands on the nice part of each district.
Oh, I see.
Because I remember in the books and in the films, in the films it's still standing. So they always leave the Victor Village alone, but they firebomb the rest of District 12.
Oh.
That's one other way you could get to him. I'm trying to think if there's any other way to get to him where he kind of comes out of his safety zone a bit, but I don't know. So take out a peacekeeper, get their gun, hide in the Victor's Village, wait for, and then kill him, and then go, okay, Katniss and your mum, we're getting out of here, and then you go to District 13, and no one knows what happened.
So it's actually quite simple, really.
Yes, but I think there's a high chance that you would die under this
yeah.
scenario. But you would die
For
for good cause, and I think
For the greater good.
I don't know. Put in the comments, would killing President Snow as early as possible kickstart the rebellion, and would the rebellion be better without him?
Well, I think it's just finding the most strategic moment too.
Right.
When the rebellion's at its like highest tension.
Is to come in and give them the thing that makes victory easier.
Yeah.
But it's very hard because it's a war of attrition, and the capital never gives up, which maybe they should have. I don't know. It's just war. Rebellions.
But then when the rebellion happens, nobody's there to set out all those traps and stuff in the capital.
That's true. But you can know where they all are and how to get past them.
That's true.
So I think for the first time ever, a plan has required the ultimate sacrifice of the good person, which is to sacrifice yourself to make things slightly better for people. Tough call, but that might be the only way to make things better in Pan Am, which definitely needs things to be better. I wouldn't want to live there. I wouldn't want to live there even though I was a capital citizen.
Yeah.
They're all just sort of like cats.
They're all freaks.
They're like poodles on two legs.
They're all... rich
What is that
people.
obsession with wigs? Honestly, it's quite disturbing, the obsession with it.
Yeah, that's life. I just like, if I was me, I would have like jumped into the sea of District 12 and swam across to Europe or something.
You think you can swim like 5,000
Or a little
miles?
boat at least.
A little boat.
A little boat and a sail. Eventually they won't bother with you.
Just
Because the films and the books never imply that there's hovercraft like completely circling Pan Am.
Yeah.
How easy must it be to get away from these? It must be. Like I just get in a boat, sail away, and why would they bother with one person? There you go. That's what you could do if you were neutral. Just you know all the ways to get out of that country based on what you've seen in the films.
Yeah.
Go to England. Go to the Winchester.
Yes.
Have a pint until it all blows over, and then go back. And that's a reference to Shaun of the Dead. If you didn't know, go watch it.
Oh, that is such a great film. I watched that the other day.
We will talk about that film in the future, maybe. A zombie apocalypse film would be quite a good one. But that'll be later.
Hot fans.
I think it's time to bring this to an end. We're not going to do the central question of the Hunger Games is, what if children had to fight for the death inside an arena? Presumably, both for two reasons. One, to sort of maintain the government's power, or for, viewership and entertainment. I don't think there's a lot more. I couldn't think of anything else to do with that kind of scenario. Why else would you put children in an arena to fight to the death? There's a good book I've been reading called Contender by Tara Matthew. I think that's what it is. If I'm wrong, I'll throw out the proper author's name. But it's a similar situation of children who are actually sort of having to fight for something. I won't spoil it. But there seems to be lots of these different ideas. You mentioned the Maze Runner, that in some ways is a sort of, we've got to whittle down this group until we have some children that we need. I just couldn't think of something different to do with the whole battle royale situation.
Yeah.
It's a good concept though as a film.
It actually works as a high concept. Like, I'm sorry to say it, Scott, the Maze Runner doesn't work for me because we built all these mazes and we're sticking children. Isn't this fun? And oh wait, it's just all to prepare their brains. Spoiler alert! To prepare their brains so their brains produce a cure for a disease, and that's like very far fetched. Yeah. I quite enjoy the films, but it's very far fetched. But the Hunger Games isn't far fetched because it's fairly in history.
It's a better concept, but the Maze Runner is executed better, in my personal opinion.
Well, I do like the final Maze Runner film, and I do like the first one. I could do without all the stupid names for everything. For common everyday things, these bunch of boys just go, well, we could use the proper English, but no, we will make up names because it's. But the books are better than the films. I will say that about.
I don't read books.
Excellent, Scott. You should read books. You've read mine.
I haven't.
Has he?
Coming on to that, I suggest you very much.
Yes.
Mark's books.
Moving on swiftly from Ben's question. Yes. I think we couldn't think of a different way of taking the what if question at the heart of the Hunger Games. But if you can think of a different way to take it, put that in the comments. And speaking of comments and speaking of subscribing and talking about liking, do all those things. Please also go and check out the Stolen Futures series. That's my series, and the Half Human series. And
it would make a great film.
I think they would.
Yes.
Yes, very much so. That's just me.
Yeah.
And so buy my books as always. I hope you enjoy them. I sponsor this podcast as well as producing, editing, directing.
Well done.
Why have I not seen any of that sponsorship money?
We haven't had any money yet.
If you sponsor it.
They sponsor it in terms of okay, this is getting off the rails. This is whole meta because I'm the one who produced these books. So this makes no sense. But moving on, Ben,
Swiftly.
What would you like to plug?
My channel, Upstairs Studios. Go check it out. It's great. And I'm currently preparing a stop motion. Oh, thank you. I'm currently preparing a stop motion for you soon, and I hope to have it done by the end of half term.
That's cool. Got time to do it now. Yeah, I love Upstairs Studios. You've got thousands of views on your videos. That's numbers that I can only dream of, and do.
Wait, you dream of views?
Yes, I want more views on my videos. So, but either way, yes, please go watch Upstairs Studios. And thanks for listening and watching this particular episode. Don't forget, this is also on the podcast, so if you enjoy listening to our voices talking about films and what
I don't know why.
I don't know why you would, but there we go. If you do enjoy it, you can listen to this on Apple, and I think it's on Spotify and
For road trips.
other places where podcasts are found.
Other places are available.
Oh, well done for sneaking it in at the end there.
Other
But there
streaming
you go.
platforms are available.
The 8th plot. And yeah.
Other plots are available.
And stop. Okay, you can stop now. You claimed it. It's yours. You're done.
Other outros are available.
Outros?
Yeah.
Is that what they call this bit where we say goodbye? That's the first time I've heard
There's
anyone.
the intro and
Well,
the
yeah,
introduction and the outro.
Yes, I get how you put those two words together, but I'd never heard outro before. So, thank you, Scott.
You're welcome.
Enjoy this outro, everyone, where I say, have a good morning, evening, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are in the world.
I don't remember that time.
Thank you for letting me say it this time,
You're
Scott.
welcome. Next time might be
The sound
something.
you hear is Scott being awarded the victor of Hunger
Nice.
Games after killing all his friends.
So that is appalling.
That was appalling as well.
Ben, you do. You're good at whistling.
I can't whistle.
Can't
so-
whistle.
no.
Never got taught.
Here.
Do the trumpet
Okay,
version.
I'm done. Good.
Trumpet, do
The
trumpet.
sound you hear is everyone poorly
Do the
singing the
do the
Mockingjay
trumpet.
tune. No, we're not. Goodbye, everyone. Bye, Scott. Bye, Ben.
Bye.
Thank you, Ben.